Yo, what's going on guys, it's Aaron here and welcome to a brand new series for Arknights, which is the beginner's guide. And this one will help out or rather target towards the newer players or like players that got into the game for like maybe a month, a few weeks, like around that time frame. And if they're struggling to like get past on some stages, struggling to what to do next, this series will be for that. And as mentioned in the title, it will be day 0 because this video is just gonna be mainly me going through the plans, what I have in store for newer players, and the progression guide that will last throughout maybe, let's go for 2 weeks first. So that's what I'm planning, so 2 weeks of progress. And now one thing I do mention is Arknights is a game where progression cannot be forced by heavy grind means, plus this entire series is going to be completely free to play. I can't whale, I can't do anything whatsoever, just to be relatable to newer players that doesn't spend a dime. And because of that, free to play players will need to make their own choices when it comes to banners. But of course I'll be giving out my opinions on the banners that are upcoming and whether you should pull or not, depending on how much they're worth. So don't worry about that section. Now, the reason why progression in Arknights is not gonna be as fast as you might think is because, one, Sanity. Now, Sanity is you can say it's a type of energy in this game where you need to spend it to like try and clear a stage or to enter a stage basically. Now, Sanity, they don't regen as fast, and also once you finish most of the main story, which is what going to be the main point of day 1, just by clearing stories, but I'll get into that once the video starts. But in this case, right, if you want to get more progress as much as possible, you want to either, one, spend the sanity refresh potions, which you'll get weekly, or 2, you use Arknight Prime. Sorry, I started a bit there, but these are the 2 ways that you can get like stamina or sanity refresh. I almost said stamina, but yeah, basically that's besides the point. And if you don't plan on like spend anything at all, especially like if you're not even going for like monthly cards, you need to save your Arknight Prime as much as possible, just in case if you want a skin for future events or you want to save it for pulls, be it either way. So yeah, make sure to not spend rash when it comes to Arknight Prime. Like for me back then, because I kind of like wailed, so that's why I spend my Arknight Prime on like refreshing sanities, just so I can get more progress done. But as a newer player, I advise to not do that, so make sure to save your resources accordingly and use it wisely. Alright, now moving on to the next section, events. In a sense, right, it's way different now compared to before. So first things first, events, they have a sequence. You can check it in the sequence. So for example, right, if I go in here and if I go into like the story page, and then if you see movements and you click unlock time, you go scroll all the way down. So this is where newer players will be at. Now the first event, we're gonna go through each event accordingly, so we're not gonna skip any events for whatever reason unless we believe that we can clear that event. So we're gonna go ahead and clear the events by time, just so that we can match the progress of the game's release, and also to make sure that we have proper operators to clear the stages, so we don't have to worry about the future stages to come. Okay, now in terms of how we will progress through these things, I will explain it of course on day 1, but the thing you need to know is you don't have to rush anything. My progression video is to help out players that are struggling to find what's the next step for them. So some people, they will find it difficult, like let's say after you finish building a operator, right, and then afterwards you struggle to think about what should I do next, who should I build next. So in that case, I'll probably introduce you to like squads and what you would need in a squad, and that way it'll probably give you an idea on who to build next depending on who you're missing out with. So yeah, that is the plan. So in conclusion, the day 1 video is gonna be mainly about the important progressions that I'm gonna explain, the banners, the how do I say it, the resources. Yes, so the resources, the banners, and also the progression. These 3, I'm gonna be focusing on these. so that way newer players will have a better understanding on what to do next, so that they don't like be lost when they reach a certain point threshold in the game. Of course, I'll be progressing with the newer players, so I'll be starting with a brand new account, and I will record every single step of my way that I'm progressing, so that way you guys have an idea on what I'm at and what I will be doing next. And if you want to, you guys can follow as well, but this is gonna be mostly for newer players that are struggling to understand or figure out what to do next. But anyway, that'll be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay tuned for day 1 of the beginner's guide. Hope you guys have a good rest of your good day. Well, actually, I don't know how to say it, but have a wonderful rest of your day. Yeah, that's much better. I'll see you guys in my next video, or if you want to drop by my streams. I stream every day temporarily until I get my new work schedule. So with that being said, this is Aaron. Thanks for watching.